Hello again. So, this time we're going to talk a little bit about the peer review process, which we will be doing in class on Thursday. So, I'm going to be giving you some tips on how to maximize your in class working time and how to be the best peer reviewer for your fellow students that you can be. So, this is just the second half of that peer review and revision PowerPoint. So we're starting on slide number 6, using your in-class work time productively. So I do really like giving you in-class work time because I understand that you've got a lot going on in your lives. You're taking 6, 7, 18, 25 classes. You've got extracurriculars, you've got sports, you've got family stuff. So for major assignments, I do try and give you as much in-class assignment time as possible. There are a couple of things that I just want to touch base on, not because of anything that you've done, just because of past experiences that I've had in class. So if you are working in groups, please keep the conversation academic and also keep that academic conversation about the class that you are currently in. So, if you're working with your buddy from your psychology class, please talk about, the revisions that you're doing or the drafting that you're doing for your composition class rather than psychology. Whatever helps you work is fine as long as it does not disrupt others. If you want to bring headphones in, that's cool so long as we don't hear your music. Keep phones away to the point where, you're not, if your music is on your phone, then that's fine. But, again, my technology policy, no texting during class. You have computers right in front of you. A lot of you bring your own computers. So please use those computers wisely and for the purposes that they were intended, which is to help you have a better class experience. It's also a really good idea to come up with a plan. Excuse me. Before you come to class so that you can maximize your time. Make a checklist, make an outline, write down specific questions you might have, and that saves you from having to do it on the spot and helps you streamline your work time. So in the end, what you do with this class time that I give you is up to you, but try to spend it as wisely as possible. So we are going to move on to some peer review stuff. Tips for peer reviewing on slide 7. Some basic questions that you can think about is, are they meeting the requirements given? So I always give you guys a rubric that I use to grade the assignment. If you look in today's tasks and I just lost the English language, I apologize. If you look in today's tasks, you will see the rubric for this particular literacy narrative assignment. Excuse me. My allergies are terrible today. So do they have a thesis statement, and is that thesis statement clear? Do they seem to have a good grasp of the argument or the text? And even if you haven't personally read the text, you can still comment on how clearly they present it. Does their organization make sense? Do they have strong supporting arguments? Is there anything that needs further definition or clarification? Are they using words that are maybe specific to their story or their hobby or their pastime or their skill, that maybe they haven't thought of to define for the rest of the audience. And then, does their paper have a strong conclusion? So just some questions to keep in mind. Next slide. Also remember that in addition to giving constructive criticism, you want to give positive feedback. So you're not just, slamming on their paper the whole time. That's not the purpose of peer reviewing. You don't want to just be like, these are all the things that you need to change and the rest is terrible and blah. Please don't do that. It's very disheartening. So in addition to giving constructive criticism, please also remember to give positive feedback as well. Some examples of that are letting them know which parts work well for you. Where have they made their strongest points? Where did they make a clever rhetorical move? Or where did they make you think of something new, cool, or different? Maybe you had a passing familiarity with baking, and they put a recipe in their narrative, and you're like, wow, I really want to try that recipe now, that's really cool. Or they phrased something in a certain way that you wouldn't have thought to have phrased it, and you're like, wow, that sounds really awesome, great job. So those kind of comments are also really helpful. It lets your peers know where they have done things well and how they can continue to do those good things throughout their essay. And then last slide is just the revision activity. So I have made this revision activity optional. And I've put it in a discussion board rather than a formal assignment. So if you would like to have some practice doing some in-depth revision, grab any paragraph from your essay and then copy and paste it. And with the first copy and paste, you want to start with revisions. So start with big picture issues. Is this paragraph organized around a central topic? Does the paragraph stay on topic? Is it clear who the audience is? And does the paragraph offer enough detail and evidence to support the main theme? So, the big picture issues, the stuff that we talked about in the revision section of the lecture. Then you want to copy the same paragraph again, and you want to go into it and do editing. So focusing on things like, does this paragraph make sense with the larger structure of the work itself? Is each sentence in this paragraph conveying the meaning it is intended to? Can I make anything clearer? Can I make anything more precise? Is each word in each sentence conveying the meaning that it's intended to? Can any of that be made clearer or more precise? And then lastly, way down on the list, is, are there any really terrible errors in grammar and syntax? Which I wouldn't worry about too much, but definitely something to keep an eye out for. And then you copy that paragraph a third time and you do your proofreading. So this is the punctuation, the spelling, do you have any of the red squigglies on Microsoft Word or on Google Docs that let you know that you have done something terribly wrong, according to the great god of Microsoft Word? So all in all, you should have 4 paragraphs once you're done with this exercise, But again, this is optional. You can try this out if you feel like you need some practice revising. And I will look into the discussion board and give comments if I feel like you guys need comments. So that is it for my lectures today. I will upload them as soon as YouTube processes them. And I'm also going to put up another discussion board for you guys to think a little bit about peer reviewing. What do you personally want from a peer review experience? What questions do you feel need to be addressed for peer reviewing? So I will put that up as well, and I will see you all on Thursday, face-to-face in the classroom. So I will see you then.